content creator, the face of Noose Sport, and the host of Trey Scott Sports Show, Trey Scott!
What's up, guys? Welcome to the episode 4. Welcome to the show. I got special guest with me, Braden Burress from Green Central and ECU. I'm so used to saying Green Central, sorry. And I got my co-host, Chaprell Pitt, with me. How you doing, man? Braden, you good to talk now? All this is over.
Nah, I'm doing great, man. Thank you for having me on the show.
Are you tired? You played a lot of games in the past 6 months or 5 months, 4 months.
I got a good break in. I took a week off and kind of ramping back up before I head out to summer ball.
All right, good deal. Chaprell, what you been up to this week?
Not too much, man. Track meet Saturday. Practice, burning up, getting blacker.
Did you watch every game of the series, the finals?
Yes.
What'd you think?
I think it was a good series. I think it's kind of like, if you go by the past, a coming of age for Wemby. He's a super talent, but it's like levels to getting somewhere. It's like when Jordan and Pippen were pushed around by the Pistons, they had to get in the gym, get bigger. I think they figured they got to get another power guy behind him, but they win every game, basically leading every game. So I just think they learned some hard lessons this year, and I think they'll probably be back and probably be the favorite next year.
You watch any? You had time? I know it's been a busy 2 weeks.
I didn't really watch, but I kind of kept up with the scores. I just thought it was crazy how much some ticket prices were.
Especially in New York.
Yes.
But it was like I was telling my wife, though. Look, so you got to understand this. All right, halftime at New York, you got Cardi B performing. Okay?
Yeah.
Halftime at San Antonio, you got a dog on a ball with this. Hey, look. Hey, look, listen up. Big shout out to our main sponsor, our title sponsor, the Big Dogs, Tiebreakers. We couldn't have done it without you. Also, 2 of our show sponsors. We have Bojangles. We have Caroline Medical Transport. Big shout out to those guys. And we have more sponsors. El Nuevo San Juan Mexican Restaurant, segment sponsor, and Success Mortgage Partners, Kristen Goyette. Thank you to all of our sponsors. We cannot do the show without you. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's get into the show. Our main part of the show is right here sitting beside me. Braden, you have been killing it. Let's just talk about your time at ECU so far. How's it been? 2 years in, by the way, he's a junior, going into his junior year, almost a junior.
I'd say it's pretty much been everything I've ever dreamed of. Obviously, going into my freshman year, I knew what the atmosphere was like there, and whenever we get runners on base and you can feel the atmosphere, you can actually see teams like fumble under pressure there. It's kind of unreal. I've never been anywhere like it. Obviously, I played at a packed-out Coastal Carolina. I played at a packed-out, UNC.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the best of the best, and like this year against Charlotte, man, we were down by a couple runs, and we were able to just get a couple runners on base, and the pitcher just fell apart. The crowd got into it, and it was just really cool to see.
Let's get the jungle their flowers. How good is the jungle? How crazy is the jungle? How loyal?
Out there in left field, they're a whole lot nicer. They're definitely loud. They're talking all game. Out there in right field, I hate it for the other right fielders because you got all the college students out there, and you never know what's gonna come out of their mouth. But the guys in left, man, the megaphone crew, they're awesome.
Let me give your introduction as you deserve. 124 games in so far this year. In your career, in two seasons. 374 batting average, 127 runs, 172 hits, 24 doubles, 4 triples, 7 home runs, 30 stolen bases, and 65 RBIs. Your first game ever in purple and gold, you went 2 for 3 with a stolen base. Freshman year, you had a 10-game hitting streak, second team all-conference, most outstanding player at the conference tournament, freshman All-American first team. This season, you're first team all-conference, and currently you're just killing it. Like, how proud? I mean, look, you take a step back and you really look at that. Like, how proud of yourself, or have you had a chance to really realize it?
I mean, yeah, I definitely look back at it and just kind of understand, where I've come from I understand that, I've had to work hard to get to where I am. Kind of been overlooked my whole life. Obviously, I'm not 6'5", just a little 5'8" guy from Snow Hill.
My favorite part.
But yeah, I mean, it's nice to look back and just see, all the hours grinding, in the off season, to finally paying off.
Let's talk about growing up. Let's talk about when did you first start playing baseball? Yeah, I know your family, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this. I'm gonna announce it. You got two sisters, both of them older than you, both of them softball players. Your mom and dad both played ball at Mount Olive, both played ball at Green Central. That's correct, right?
Well, Mama's from New York, so
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Should have known that by the last name. I didn't know that for real. Okay,
Yep.
cool,
Yep.
cool. How was it growing up?
You were always on the ball field somewhere. Growing up with Hannah, the oldest, she played travel ball all the way up till she was 18. I started playing T-ball, I guess, as young as you could start. My dad was a rec director, so maybe even a year or so younger, because he was able to get me in there. But I played travel ball about as soon as you could start, but like 7, 8 years old, somewhere in there, starting coach pitch, and just fell in love with the game. Coming from two sisters who also, enjoyed playing sports, and my mom and dad obviously played sports in college. It's just kind of been a dream of mine to, follow in those footsteps and play at the next level.
I've told this story 100 times. Never told it to you, I don't think. I started. For people who don't know, my son played with Braden growing up through the same rec league, same teams and all. I coached my son rec ball. It was his first year in Greene County rec ball, and it was 8 and under, but it was machine pitch, and we all were 6 years old, our class, and I'm coaching first base. You're playing first base, obviously the best glove, at that time. And the ball gets hit behind me. And if you don't know about Greene County Rec Department, the fields are all dirt. Like, there's no infield grass. The ball's hit behind me. I'm thinking of nothing. Like, this kid's not going to go get it. And all of a sudden, you come flying out of nowhere and dive on your chest and slide across the gravel. You were like 10 feet from the ball. And I'm like, who the hell is this kid? Like, what in the world? Like, how did you get that dog in you so early? Is it your sisters? Is it your dad? Or is just ball is life? You've always had that, though. Ever since I've known you, always had that little spunk, that little, I'm going to go get it.
Well, I think it's just, I've never been afraid to get dirty. Even when I was, going to Hannah's travel ball games, if you were looking for me, just look for wherever the most dirt is, because I was probably out there just sitting in it, throwing dirt on my legs or something. But yeah, it comes from the family, I think. Family full of ball players, of some sport. Daddy played baseball, mom played soccer in college. So, whatever it is. But yeah, I've just always enjoyed playing in the dirt and getting dirty. So that's kind of been my life up to this point.
Talk about your dad. How big? I know how good of a coach your dad is, but how big was he in your development and just raising you as a man?
Yeah, there's obviously I don't have enough, amazing things to say about him. None of this is possible without, every single person in my family. But yeah, Daddy, whether it was him getting home from work at 8 o'clock at night and I wanted to go hit, we were going to hit at Green Central. Cut the lights on and, get it done. And it didn't matter that he had to go to work at 5:30 the next morning. He was always willing to do whatever it took to get me to where I am today, and I couldn't be more thankful for that.
What about your sisters? Were they hard on you? Were they rough on you, or they couldn't handle you? Or here's your chance to shine right here.
I'd definitely say they helped toughen me up a little bit. I remember, I couldn't tell you how old I was. I don't really remember, but it was one day, I think I took Hannah's bike, and they started throwing rocks at me. So, if that doesn't toughen me up a little bit, and I don't
You were
know,
already small.
Yeah, they used to push me around, and then finally they stopped growing so I could catch up to them a little bit. But, we used to play kickball in the front yard and all that good stuff, just everything little kids do. So, just kind of grew up with them.
Your sisters were not only ball players, but they were good. They were good ball players. How much, did they help in your development with baseball?
I mean,
Now,
yeah.
I mean, it might not have been directly. It might not have been, giving you mechanic tips, but they showed you how to win, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was always really interesting to see Hannah and Green Central compete against Southland or softball in the playoffs or in the regular season at all. I mean, just seeing that competitive drive just from her and even Abby, she was more of a volleyball player, but just seeing that competitive drive from them too, and just kind of taking it and placing that in my game. I think competitiveness, you can't replace that. That's something that's irreplaceable, and I think if you want to be good in the sport that you play, you've got to have that competitive drive to be better than everyone else.
When did you know you had a real chance to play college baseball?
I think it was whenever I went to my second camp at East Carolina. I actually went to 3, but obviously it's always kind of been a dream of mine. After the first camp didn't go my way at all. I was kind of struggled out there. It was my freshman year of high school and just kind of outmatched with the competition. Kind of went back to work. Didn't really think much about it. I knew where I wanted to be, and that just kind of was eye opening. And I understand I had to work a little bit harder to get where I wanted to go. So then kind of get back the next year, went to the camp again, and it was a whole lot better. And you get a little bit of praise from the coaches. And obviously nothing really came from it. Just kind of kept me on the radar, and then still going around playing travel ball and kind of having good tournaments, pretty much every weekend, and going to ball out in the big tournaments up there in Georgia. And then obviously the final straw was the last camp I had there at East Carolina. Was arguably probably the best I've played in any weekend you could possibly play. You only play 2 games, but they asked me to come back and play 2 games on Sunday, so I played 1 on Saturday and 2 on Sunday, and I just had a really good weekend.
How old are you? What grade?
So I went to that camp the weekend right before we started school my junior year.
Okay.
Was the last camp I went to, and I ended up committing like 4 weeks later.
Okay. And I was planning on bringing up travel ball. Coming up through travel ball, like I'm talking about my son, we never played in the same realm that you played in. You were always either, I really don't know, but I'm just going to assume, and you correct me, you were always either an age up or just more regional and national. Talk to me about your travel ball days. Where did it start? And was it ever too tough? And did you just adjust? And maybe it won't never too tough, but talk about that and the competition level.
I think ever since we were young, like 10 years old probably, we always went out to like Charlotte. Like we probably went to Charlotte 2 or 3 times a summer just because that's where the best competition was. We always, our coaches, Daddy was one of them, we always kind of sought out the best competition and wanted to compete because we had a really good team. And, obviously we were super young, but every guy on our team was like super talented. So we just tried to go test, exactly how good we were by playing the best competition. And that kind of went on all the way until I was, 17 years old.
But how was that considering like you've really grown a lot? You're up until 10th grade, you were real small. So you're real small, playing on them elite levels. I'm sure there was some bad days, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, even nowadays, I mean, I still get bullied around a little bit out there, but whenever you have those bad games, I mean, play the hardest sport in the world.
That's right. That's right.
Did you ever play in Rawlins baseball?
I'm pretty sure I've played one of the teams before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I play a game where if you succeed 3 out of 10 times, you're gonna be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Like that's just, you play a game of failure, and just kind of after you have a bad game, well, the best thing about travel ball is you're probably gonna play another one that day.
When did you get that though? I mean, you're a competitor. It had to take some time.
I mean, it still gets to me sometimes. Don't get me wrong. I don't like the fact that I got to wait till the next day to get back after it.
Yeah.
Especially after you go 0 for 5. That hits on you heavy. But just kind of understanding that it's not the end of the world. Baseball is just something I do. It's not who I am. So it's kind of tough to grasp that at a young age. Not letting the game define you. But it's just something I do every day, and I enjoy it.
If you had some advice for other, like say local high school players, and I've dealt with trained girls who play softball for about as far as going to camps and stuff, would you be more like go to a camp where it's more realistic that you may could be able to report with that school, go to that school, or do you have any advice for locals with that?
I think the camps are really good. I think it's important that you kind of figure out what schools you want to go to
Right.
first, and kind of try to get in camps in front of them.
Gotcha.
Like I didn't just go to any camp. I probably went to 3, maybe 4 schools, but I went to 3 at East Carolina.
Right.
Because I knew that's where I wanted to go, so
Gotcha.
that's kind of where I set my sights on. But nowadays, you have college scouts at pretty much everywhere where you're gonna play a travel tournament at,
Right.
or a showcase tournament. But yeah, I think trying to play in those bigger tournaments is probably where you'll get a lot of attention at.
I got one more quick question.
Mhm.
You say you and your father went to Charlotte a lot, and I'm always saying this for every other sport. What's the difference between Eastern North Carolina and then you going out west to like really get your chops in?
That's a good question.
It was almost like in Eastern North Carolina, you didn't get many teams from the central part or
Right.
the western part of North Carolina to come this way.
Uh-huh.
It was kind of like everybody gravitated towards the western part, and you even got teams from South Carolina, Tennessee,
Mhm.
Georgia, like really good teams that would travel that far
Right.
to play in those tournaments. So they weren't just wasting their money. They
Right.
were really good teams, and obviously Charlotte, they have a lot to choose from
Most
over there,
definitely,
and
most
they had a lot of really good teams over there. So it was just going to play the competition over
Gotcha.
there, because that's just where most of the competition was.
That makes sense.
Let's give a quick shout out to some of the people that's helped you develop. You don't know it. I'm sure you do know it, but a lot of people are proud to be associated with you. Proud to be a part of your journey. Let's give some shout out to some of your coaches. Who's some of the guys that's helped you along the way, between your 8U coach to 10U? To, I know you can't remember everybody, but let's drop some names.
Ooh, so
I didn't prepare you
Kinda-
for this. I'm sorry.
kind of starting. Obviously, I had a lot of coaches when I was younger. So my dad's college coach was Carl Lancaster.
Okay.
I hit with him at a young age. Kind of taught me some things early on. And then as I got older and got onto the big field, I switched and started playing with the Carolina Cubs. And the guy who runs that organization, his name's Ricky Keith. He's kind of a big part of how I got to college as well. He's got a lot of connections. So he was able, to kind of get me out there and put us in those tournaments to get us in front of the big schools and stuff. But then you got, some of the coaches that worked with me one-on-one. Turner Brown, he's at Jacksonville University, played shortstop for 4 years at East Carolina. Travius Ford played at Barton College. He was one of my coaches with the Carolina Cubs. Then obviously my high school coaches, Ben Brand, David Bryant, Jamie Tilley,
Scott Jones.
Russell Brand, Scott Jones. We can keep going if you want to.
Yeah.
If you want to go back to middle school, we can.
There's a lot. There's a lot. I just
Yeah.
want to throw some love in there.
And then obviously the coaches here at East Carolina, every single one of them's been a blessing. It's been awesome to kind of grow. They've been around the game a whole lot longer from me, so I'm sure I can take something from each coach and apply it to what I do today.
I seen you from your first start from middle school get a hit. Your first start and as a freshman, lead off and at Green Central right over the shortstop's head, get a hit. I seen you start off at ECU, get a hit. Like, talk about the difference between high school and college. I know that's a loaded question, but I'm talking about the very first game. What did you remember from it? As in, this is way different from high school, or this obviously it is. Don't get me wrong. But what was so different? Was it the velocity? Was it everybody's big? Were you playing against grown men? What was the difference?
I say the big thing that stands out is definitely the velocity. Don't get me wrong. We faced some really good pitchers in high school from time to time, but every single game in college, you're going to face a guy throwing 90 plus. Like that's college baseball. But yeah, just kind of stepping into the box, and also the amount of fans you got there.
Yeah.
You know, what do we have in the state championship? Maybe 2,000.
Yeah.
And then you look up there opening day, you got 5,000-6,000 out there. So I mean, that's a big difference. But the margin for error is a whole lot smaller here at East Carolina. I mean, you can make a couple errors in high school or something and get away with it, but it's a whole lot harder to win baseball games in college if you're kind of giving away free 90s and you know, just giving other team runs.
I didn't give a great introduction because there's so much to talk about with Braden Burress. Your high school career was magnificent. Finished off as a state champion. Your last 2 seasons, I'm going to talk about batting first. Career batting average of 509. End up batting like 600 one year, 605. But what I want to talk about is your last 2 years, you went 23-0 on the mound with like a .75 ERA. And you won't blowing stuff by people. Yeah, don't hold that against me. But you won't blowing people away. You know what I'm saying? What made you so good as a pitcher? Was it just competitiveness, or what? Because you just usually when you see a pitcher, you see Austin Hardy, long, lanky lefty that got a good lever. What made you so different as a pitcher?
I think the competitiveness definitely plays a part in it for sure. There was never a guy that stepped into the box that I was like, I'm not getting him out. Like, I was, whether the guy could have been 3 for 3 off of me and he was coming in for the 4th at bat, I was telling myself I was getting this guy out. But in high school, it was kind of just, I didn't throw a lot of fastballs, but when I did, my fastball was just good enough because I threw a lot of all speed. You know, they're sitting there looking all speed the whole time, so I was able, you know, kind of run a fastball in on their hands or something and get it by them. But it was kind of just throwing the all speed where I wanted it. I think that's the most important. I think I saw this, you know, that you posted on Twitter one time. It was like movement or velo. Which one would you rather have? I think if you got command and movement, I'd take that over velo any day. Because I mean, I've seen it. I see it nowadays in college. You got a guy throwing 97, and you know, just flat, throws it right down the middle. He gets hit all over the place. We got a guy, Ryan Towers, lefty, throws 89. And he can put it exactly where he wants it. And he had a lot of success there at the end of the year.
All right. Talk about this. We'll talk about a little bit more about high school. Chaparral. I'll tell you this story. Green Central went, I'm going to get my facts right. They won 26 straight games to start his senior season. Went to Whiteville in the 5th round, best out of 3.
Right.
And lost in the first game of the series. First loss of the season.
Right.
Coach Brand turns around in the press conference and says, it's okay because we got Braden freaking Burress pitching.
Enough said.
Talk about that moment, baby. Game on the season's on the line. All your homeboys, season's on the line. It's on your back. Any pressure at all, or you knew what it was? Because I felt like that team was very cocky and confident in a very respectful way.
Yeah. Well, I just remember one thing after we lost that game, game 1 of, you know, the regionals, and I remember Austin was pretty beat up because, I mean, he didn't throw bad at all, but we didn't play good defense behind him at all. And I told him, I said, don't worry, you're going to pitch again. I went up to him after the game, and I told him that, and, you know, I wasn't going to let him down. And obviously he couldn't throw again in game 2 or game 3, so that means he had to throw in the state championship. And I told him, I said, you're going to pitch again, and, you know, I arguably had one of my better pitching performances of my high school career that next game. And then obviously, you know, Riley was the hero in game 3.
Yeah.
Pretty much on both sides of the ball. But, yeah, that was fun to be a part of.
Let me ask you a quick question about your pitching. Were you ever in situations where you did a lot of intentional walks? How'd you feel about it if your coach would ask you to do it?
Honestly, I can't remember a time where, like, we put a guy on.
Oh,
like,
I like that.
Because, like, we had 3 really good pitchers my senior year, so it was like it was the batter's job. To
right,
get
bring
hit.
it,
like,
right.
We weren't worried about, you know, them getting a hit. We were going to go right after him every time.
I'll talk about moving on to the next week after that and go to Burns. How good was that Burns thing? Because when I go back and look at it, it seemed like they were pretty daggone good. Like they matched up with us pretty daggone good. And how good was Kobe Putnam? Is that his name? Putnam?
Yeah, he's at Gardner Webb now, and he actually had a really good year. I think he was starting on the weekends for him. But yeah, that team was a really good team. They were So most high school teams, you know, got maybe like 1 through 4, 1 through 5, and then, you know, the back half of the lineup was just, you know, you wouldn't have much trouble with them. But that team, they could hit 1 through 9. You couldn't just, you know, get over by throwing a fastball down the middle towards the bottom of the lineup because they were still going to hit it. They made me pay. I mean, I remember I probably gave up 3 or 4 extra base hits that game. Gave up a home run, 2 doubles, I think, but I mean that team was really good. You couldn't make mistakes. I mean, I threw a good pitch on a 3-1 count to Putnam, and he hit it out. So I mean, it was.
His daddy turned to me. I was sitting beside his daddy turned to me. He said, "Yeah, we got one of those too." All right, bro, just leave me alone right now.
Yeah, but I mean,
no, it was good.
that team was good. But I mean, at the end of the day, I would have taken our team over any team in the state.
Absolutely.
How was that ride? Because I mean, it was like y'all were rock stars, like that whole playoffs, the whole season. How was that feeling for the whole season when you look back at it?
So I tell a lot of people this, but I was more nervous for the first round game against Goldsboro than I was when I was going to pitch in game 2 of the state championship.
Wow.
I don't know what it was, but it was just like once we got through that first game in the playoffs, I was just like I just had an easy feeling about it. Like I was never worried about anything. It was just I knew how good we were, and it was just, you know, playing that good.
Right.
That was all it was. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Just, you know, playing to the best of our abilities.
Gotcha.
Moving on, and then you get your chance as a walk-on, get a roster spot as a walk-on at ECU. How was that first semester? I heard it actually went good. I remember Chance texted me like, "Man, Braden's killing it in this fall ball or whatever y'all were playing." I'm sure y'all had scrimmages throughout the fall. Mm-hmm. How was that first semester at ECU?
So Coach Godwin, I mean, he told me when I committed that he was going to be hard on me. He said he was going to coach me like he used to coach, you know, back in like 2015 or whatever. But it was fun just kind of being around the guys. And, you know, obviously in high school, not everyone wants to go play college baseball. And when you're there, everybody's focused on one goal in college. So, I mean, it's awesome to be around a group of guys that all they care about is winning. They want to go win a national championship, and that's the goal at the end of the day. But I kind of struggled early on in the fall. It was like a mixture of, you know, seeing the best pitching I've seen in my life. And also I put on a lot of weight, and also trying to figure out how to get my body to move the way I wanted to, because I put on 20, 25 pounds in the span of, you know, 3 or 4 months. So it was just, you know, completely new to my body. My brain's trying to figure it out.
Intentionally?
Yeah, intentionally for sure. Trying to get stronger because
talk about that as in, like, was it ECU's idea, your idea? Was it, you know, what was the thought process?
It was a mixture of both. I mean, I knew I had to get bigger if I wanted to play. You got to get bigger, faster, stronger. That's just college baseball today. But I mean, obviously they wanted me to get bigger as well.
How'd you do it?
Simply natural chocolate milk and a lot of weights. And the worst part,
this is gold.
Yes. The worst part was making yourself eat when you don't want to.
Right.
Like I'm eating 4 or 5 meals a day, and I'm like full. Like I'm just forcing myself to eat the 5th meal, and because I understand that if I don't eat, I ain't gonna get any bigger. So yeah. I mean that sucked for sure.
When that weight room finally caught up with that weight. Yeah, I know you were definitely in the mirror a couple times. Like, okay.
I mean, a couple times, yeah. I mean, you can't help it sometimes.
You got to look at the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, just realizing that 3 months ago I was 160 pounds and now I'm 185. And, you know, I'm getting a little bigger. I'm like, dang, man, it's nice.
Now talk about the weight transferring into your play.
I mean, yeah.
I'm sure it helps your bat power.
Right? Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I just kept seeing it pay off. You know. Each week you're like, dang, I hit that ball hard, and you know you realize, you know, we get like the statistics. They'll have it up on the board sometimes. You just keep hitting it harder and harder, and it's like, you know, everything's kind of paying off. So that kind of keeps you motivated to keep wanting to get stronger, and, you know, gain a little bit more weight. But at the same time, you can't gain too much weight, because I did that this fall. It wasn't really a bad thing. I probably got up to like 190, 191, somewhere up in there, and you know, I realized that I was getting a little slower, so I just kind of had to back off a little bit, kind of get back to like 187. And it's crazy. Those 3 pounds make a big difference.
Is Jeff Connors still there? Do you know who Jeff Connors is?
Not.
He's one of the strength and conditioning coaches for ECU. He's legendary. I know he was there about 3 or 4 years ago. But he was late. I was asking, did you work with him? Okay, but okay. Dan, when did you realize you really had a shot to play?
Well, it was kind of tough because we had a good team. You had Dixon Williams who was going to play second. So I mean, I was like, shoot, third base. I didn't have the arm to get it over there from third base. And we had Colby Wallace, really good player. And then you had veterans in the outfield. You had Riley Johnson out there in center. And we had a good team. So it was right. I want to say it was the weekend before opening day. Coach Godwin told me he wanted me to play a little bit of left because like Riley was dealing with like some hip injuries, and so I went out there. I think the first ball got hit to me. I think I got absolutely toasted, like hit off the wall, and I just got a terrible read, and it was just wow. And then I remember after that, somebody came up to me and was like, "Well, left field was that was done quick." And then
Dang.
next thing you know, a week later, I'm starting in left field for us because Riley can't go.
Right.
So I mean, it's crazy. Who knows where my career would be if Riley didn't get hurt? Obviously,
Right.
you don't want anybody to get
Right.
hurt.
Did you? Let me ask you a question. From your last game at Green Central in your first year in college, did you face like any major valley, or was kind of more or less even keel to you?
I think that first semester of my freshman year was kind of one of the lower points for baseball for me because it was like I didn't strike out a lot in high school, and I was striking out 3-4 times a weekend,
Right.
facing the better pitching, and it just took a little bit more time for me to adapt to the
Right.
pitching than other guys, which is okay. That's what the fall's for.
Most
Just
definitely, most
trying to catch back up, but I was able to find it, and hopefully it sticks with me for a long time.
So when you found out that you had a chance, like okay, it started adding up to you. Okay, they're really about to play me. What was the communication like with your dad? Well, let's start over. What is the communication like with your dad? Like, do you tell him everything, or is it y'all talk once a week? Is it every day? What's that relationship like?
I'd say we probably talk once a week, and we don't really talk a lot about baseball.
Okay.
Because I'm at the baseball field 7 days a week, and that kind of gets a little overwhelming to leave the field and talk about baseball. That is just kind of the furthest thing from what I like to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't really remember what I said whenever I think I told him I had a chance of playing, and then maybe that morning I may have texted the family and told them I'd be playing left, but I
think I went to that game. I think it was a last minute. I think like me and Chance was going to that game because we started the Pirate Pulse, and Chance texted me like he shot me the lineup, and Braden Burress was in there. I was like, what in the world? Let's go. So that was your welcome to the league moment, and you went 2 for 3. Did you know then that you belonged, or did you know before?
I kind of knew before. So in the fall, the last 2 weeks of the fall, I was balling out. Like I was playing really well, and then I broke my hand still in second.
That's right.
So I was kind of a little bit of woe is me. Like I can't get better this off season. Like I hope I pick back up where I left off because I was at a really good spot, and I'm very fortunate that when I came back, it was like I didn't miss a beat. Everything kind of picked back up, where I was. So I was very fortunate and blessed with that. But the day before opening day, Coach Godwin told me I was gonna play left, and he asked me if I was good leading off. I said, Coach, I'm gonna do whatever you want, Coach. Like I'm just there to play ball, and wherever they put me, that's where they're gonna put me.
All right, Coach Godwin, if you're a media member, it's not the person you really want to interview. So that's the outside image we get. Okay, and I don't know him. Like, I know he's from Greene County and stuff like that, but the only time I've ever talked to him is through the interviews. I don't know him at all. I pull for him. I'm a fan just because he's from our home. But how is he? Like, you got to explain to us what type of person he is. From the outside in, it looks like he's a God-fearing man that pushes his faith and makes sure y'all are heading in the right direction. It looks like he cares more about y'all than he does baseball, and that says a lot because he cares about baseball a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But don't let me say that. Who is Coach Godwin? Who is Cliff Godwin, and what type of guy is he? And what type of coach?
I mean, I think you really hit the head on the nail there. He really cares a lot about us as individuals way more than what he cares about, our performance on the field. He pushes us. Don't get me wrong. Like he wants the best of us on the baseball field. He's gonna push us. Some people until they really can't go anymore, and that's okay. But he wants the best for us individually. He cares more about where we're going in life than where we go on the baseball field, and that's really one of the main reasons that I kind of went to East Carolina because baseball is only gonna be around for so long for me. But one day I'm gonna have a family and a wife and kids, and I think being a great father and husband to them is way more valuable than being a good baseball player.
Is there ever any Green Central talk?
I
know y'all are like y'all got so much to worry about. You got so much to worry about.
I mean, occasionally, he'll just kind of ask me, how the team's doing, what Green Central do last night. It could be football, basketball, or baseball.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll just kind of ask me, is like Green Central going to be in the playoffs this year? How are they doing? Just small things like that.
So if he's asking you that means you were keeping up.
I try to, because Logan's over there, so
yeah.
I try to keep up with him as much as I can, and I just, especially baseball. I still got some of my boys that were over there this
Thanks.
year. What will it be? Some of the freshmen senior year this year.
Did they? Yeah, sophomore. Yeah. Your sophomores just graduated.
Yeah,
and Mason Dillon's about to be a senior.
Yep, so it'll be. So I mean, I still got a couple guys over there, but obviously, Logan's over there, and then Easton will be in high school next year, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. He's either high school or 8th grade.
Pretty sure it's high school.
He's getting there.
Yeah, one of these years he'll be there. But I keep up with him. Green Central means a lot to me. I wouldn't be where I am without Green Central and everything that it's brought. Whether it's just the people who supported me there or the guys that I was able to play with and had the honor of playing with them. But I definitely keep up with them and try to stay in touch with some of the guys.
Was there ever a time in starting off in college where you were doubted? And when I say that, let me clarify that. When I say that, I'm talking about maybe you can tell from a upperclassman that they might give you the side eye, like, is he supposed to be here? Was there ever a time, or is it all respectable in that locker room, or it is dog eat dog world at the end of the day?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a lot of good people that come through the program, so I don't think it's ever really anyone looking down on others.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants the best for everyone else, whether you're playing or not. If a guy's playing in your position, we want the best for each other, and that's why our practices are like so competitive, because everyone's competing for a spot. But I won't say there was ever a time where I think somebody on the team looked down on me. I just think whenever they may have like questioned me taking on a starting role to start the year, but kind of going into the season, I was told that I was going to be kind of a role player, pinch hit here and there, play defense when needed, pinch run, and I was completely fine with that. You got to earn your keep at East Carolina, and we say rent's due every day, and you got to put in the work if you wanna play there.
Speaking of the rent, big shout out to our sponsors: Tiebreakers, Bojangles, Caroline Medical. Couldn't do it without none of our sponsors there. Thank you for the reminder. And the season went great your freshman year. Freshman year it went great, but there was times where you had to prove yourself. Mm-hmm. You started off starting lead off, and then you win a couple of games where you were coming off the pine. Mm-hmm. And then you got more opportunities in left field, and you took advantage of it. Tell me about playing the outfield, and what was your mentality playing the outfield, knowing, and I know you'll play anywhere, but you're a middle infield guy, right? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
How is it, knowing that you had to go out there and earn your stuff in the outfield, and you had some web gems out there? Is there anyone particular? I'm asking you like 10 questions at once. Is there anyone particular that you will always remember, web gems from freshman year? Start at the beginning, as in playing left field, knowing that you're a middle infielder.
I was about to jump straight to Riley Johnson. But early on in the year, obviously I went 2 for 3 the first game, played a doubleheader that day, and I'm like, yeah, man, like obviously I was kind of, I was mad that we lost. Obviously, that's not what you want. But the second game, I went 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts.
I remember that.
And then I got benched after that. Fair. I mean, I went 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts. Like, come on. I think I may have gotten an AB that midweek game. I don't even remember who we played. Campbell. I got 1 at bat. Pretty sure I struck out that game too. I didn't get at bat that whole weekend at Carolina. I played defense a couple innings, in 2 of the games, and then I think the next game we played ODU. And Coach Godwin told me, he came up to me, he said, go play left field. He said, if you want to start in the spot, you got to go earn it. I made a really good play and left, and then I hit a ball hard. Obviously, it was right at somebody, but didn't quite go my way. But all you can ask is that you square it up. I think I may have started the next game. Went 1 for 4. Didn't really play that great, and then got benched. And then later on that weekend, that was when we played Coastal Carolina. And I had a couple good games there. And then later that next week, I hit like a pinch hit double against Virginia Tech, and it kind of just took off from there. Kind of got into a starting role and kind of got into my rhythm, and where I was able to find myself on base a lot. So I think that's what kind of got me started.
Web gym.
The web gym. My favorite play, or that?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
we'll definitely go with probably any web gym that Riley Johnson had. He's one of the best defenders I've ever seen out there. Like, I think one of the coolest plays he ever made was a play he didn't even make.
All right, explain it.
There was a ball, we were playing in Clearwater, and there was a ball hitting the right center gap, and he is like full-on Superman dive. Keep in mind, this dude has 2 torn labrums in his hips and 2 torn labrums in his shoulders. And he does like a Superman dive. Like, everybody goes crazy, and then the ball's on the ground. Oh. I still thought it was like the coolest play ever. He made a couple where like he was like jumping up on the wall, making plays. He's out there laying out, whether, he knows that he might not be able to play tomorrow because his body may hurt, but
right.
He never cared. He was always, going all out, and, I was able to learn from him. He definitely plays a role in, how I play the games today.
Do you remember any piece of advice that any player gave you that was older?
Not really, because I think there was like a whole lot.
Yeah.
I think it was a lot of information. Obviously, going to play left was brand new to me, so Riley was with me a lot of the time. So like, he wouldn't really didn't even catch fly balls in practice. He'd just go out there and get reads, and then one group that I was out there, he'd be right beside me. Just I do something wrong, he'd tell me and fix it.
And he was usually pampering his injuries and stuff too at the same time, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
What do you stand on the team for stealing bases? Are you one of the top guys?
I think I may have led the team this year. Was second last year behind Dixon. But we don't really steal a lot of bases.
Okay.
Yeah, we're kind of, we like to move runners.
Right.
Move runners, get them in. Move
Gotcha.
them over, get them in. That's kind of like the offense we run.
Gotcha.
And, if we'll have the big swings here and there.
Right.
Yeah.
He had 12. Second guy had 11. Third guy had 6. The 3 times you got out. You ever got gunned out there? Or was it your fault?
I think 2 of them were on like a hit and run.
Okay.
I mean, obviously some pitches are just like, one of them, dude threw it in the dirt, and I mean, it's just hard.
Yeah.
Like, hit and runs, I promise, hit and runs are a whole lot harder than what you think. It's hard to make contact with it. And then another time was the dude, like, it was like a bad throw. The dude like tagged me on my toe. One of the hit and runs, I like avoided the tag, and the dude tagged me in the nose and somehow still called me out. And the review was a problem. But we won't get started on that.
Seemed like you checked all the boxes in high school for as what you needed to do to get to the next level. Do you feel like, looking back, there was something that you could have done different in high school, travel ball, whatever?
I think it's all about just getting yourself out there.
Right.
And, kind of preparing the best you can.
Right.
Maybe get a little bit bigger and faster,
Right.
sooner.
Right.
But, Jason Wilson was, big in helping me get bigger and
Right.
faster as well. He was a big piece in, me getting to where
Okay.
I am today. Because I spent, summers in that weight room with
Right.
him, and there'd be times where I just didn't have class. I just go lift with his class that was out there, and he was always welcoming and just, always wanted to help me.
Right. Speaking of Wilson, have you ever played football in your life?
Absolutely. He
I
was almost there one year. He was almost there one year.
I played my 8th grade year.
Okay.
Yeah, I played with Coach Tilley, was the head coach then.
Right.
Obviously was assistant baseball coach at Grand
Gotcha.
Central. He still goes out and supports me there at East
Right.
Carolina, but that was some of the most fun I've ever
Right,
had
I
in
can
my life.
imagine.
And then it was just kind of hard to play in high school. It was going to be hard to play a football game on Friday night and then turn around and go to a baseball camp on Saturday
Right.
morning at 8:00.
That makes sense.
So that was really the only reason I didn't play
Gotcha.
in high school.
Chaparral, I'm all for multi-sport athletes. In this one case, I completely understand why you didn't play.
Right.
Because the way he played football.
Right.
Like he's
Yeah.
I
he's
would-
a little
I would've been
crazy
hurt for sure.
Yeah, he would have got hurt. He would have got hurt for sure. He plays crazy.
Some of them boys are like 6'5", 300 pounds, and
Here
I
comes
want to
5'5"
back
Braden.
away from
Right.
it. I was gonna go right after him.
Right.
And, most of the time, you do the math, it doesn't really add up
Most
too well.
definitely.
For our viewers, I do have your questions for the fan mail. That will be last. I'm going to ask every questions that y'all put in that comments on that status. I have not forgot you. I'm definitely going to ask the questions. Let's continue about the freshman year. Went on, earned your starting spot. Conference play comes, conference tournament comes, and you kill it. Like, you were on fire. Most outstanding player. Y'all won the conference, and help me remind me where y'all were not supposed to win at that time. Don't remember what was going on, but it was a special run.
Well, we were 6th in the conference.
Okay.
So luckily, the way it was set up then, the way it was set up last year, everybody had to win the same amount of games. The way it was set up this year, the first and second seed got double bye.
Gotcha.
3 and 4 seed got a bye on the first day. So we would have been in the single elimination game to get into the double elimination side of it, and yeah, that's a lot of winning that you got to do.
But that freshman year, was it Clearwater?
Clearwater,
And talk about that weekend or that week. How'd you feel?
Yeah, that was unreal. It was really fun, just really because a lot of things really didn't go our way my freshman year. We really couldn't catch a break. We battled a lot of injuries, just like we did this year. But it was kind of nice to see everything finally click at once. The pitching was, finally it was getting there. Offense, we were scoring runs. I knew it was special whenever we got there. And that first game that we played USF in the conference tournament, we scored like 4 in the first inning, and I was like, dude, can't nobody beat this team. Like, and then you had Ethan Norby struck out like the first 6, and I'm like, yeah, I think we're in for a treat here. So it was a lot of fun playing that weekend.
Most outstanding player. That's got to be something you got to tell your kids about one day. All right, you got to be incredibly proud of that achievement, right?
Yeah, I don't really know why looking back at it, but I was like, when they called my name for it, I was like kind of surprised. I don't really know why, but I was. But I really was just kind of overwhelmed with like the team success. Was like,
that's awesome.
Like, we just won a conference championship, like a opportunity to go play in a regional. Like, that's what's on my mind, and they called my name, and I'm like, me? Like, you talking about me? And yeah, but it was almost like that weekend, whenever there was a spot for me to come through that I needed to come through, it was like I came through, and like nothing feels better than coming through for the team and pushing maybe the game winning run across.
Right. A weird question. Where's that trophy at? Oh, Brady, come on! Does ECU keep it, or your mama got it somewhere?
Like the most like outstanding
MOP, yeah.
I think it's at my house in Snow Hill.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
I
trust me. Your mom and dad got it.
I'm sure Mama has it somewhere.
They know exactly where it's at.
I really don't know.
All right. So I got through that. And I wanted to talk about going from your freshman year to your sophomore year. You just had an incredible conference tournament run. It's transfer portal time. It is what it is. That's what it is now. It's NIL. where are you going next year? Where are you going next year? Like, you want to come here. Being a walk-on, having an incredible freshman year, led the conference in batting average, first team, all freshman, all American, whatever. Did you start getting calls? Did you start getting any looks, or
I mean,
not what you wanted to do? I'm just asking.
Yeah, I mean, it's you're not supposed to reach out to somebody unless they're in the transfer portal. But obviously, you had like All Sturvey last year had a couple of teams reach out to him, which is, I mean, they tried to say they thought it was his brother or something, but we all know that ain't true. But no, there's never been a doubt of where I want to play. I committed to East Carolina because I want to play at East Carolina. If I wanted to, go play at Tennessee, I would have committed there. But that's not where I committed to, and I'm gonna be loyal. If I play 5 years here, maybe they pass that new rule or whatever. They're talking about 5 for 5 or whatever. But I mean, I'll be here my whole career, and there's never been thoughts about transferring.
Now, when you signed, did you sign as a preferred walk-on at first?
Yeah.
Did anything change about that status after that first year?
Yeah, I received a full scholarship.
Right.
So
I was about to say.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
But I mean, he told me, he said, we don't have any money for you, so you can come here as a walk on,
right.
but I'm gonna be hard on you. And I was like, well, coach, I mean, that's what I
all you
want.
opportunity.
I was like, let's go.
There you go.
Good deal. And I'm gonna bring up. Now we're going into your second year. Y'all did good. You solidified your spot. First team all conference. I don't know what that was. But yeah. Getting to, I'm not even on camera. Sorry guys. Getting to your season. Going back to your high school days. Let's start there. You're known for breaking records, or at least being in the record books. You got the most runs in a season, 59. Most hits in a season, you're 15th with 50. You got the 51st lowest ERA ever in a season. As a team that year, it was third lowest ERA in a season with .75. Career records in high schools, you got the 21st most career hits, 8th most career runs, 7th highest batting average in a career. Do you realize how good you were in high school? And I already know this question as well. Does any of that mean anything to you?
I mean, really, the only one that I kind of knew about was like the run score thing, and that's not like I wasn't going in there thinking about that. I had no clue why I was playing.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometime after the season, Coach Bryant sent me a picture of the record books and said he sent it in for the official record books or whatever. But I never really thought much about any of that stuff. It's kind of hard to think about that whenever you're not losing games, to say the least. I mean, it was just my thought process was, let's go out here, let's handle business, and let's go home. That's all I cared about, was going out there, trying to get out of there in 5 innings if we could, and going home. Obviously, didn't go home in 5 innings every game, but we did a lot of them.
And I'm going to move on to what you possibly could do now. I know you're not interested in this stuff, but I got to feed my fans what they want to see. They want to see the Braden Burress stats, man. Let's look at the ECU stats you had accumulated so far, and I got you paced on what records you possibly could break 1 year. Pulling it up now. All right. 124 games played. The most ever is 243, Lane Hoover. 460 career bats right now. The most ever is 901, John Williamson. Runs scored, you've got 127, Ryan Wood, 225. Hits, 172, Steve Salargo, 301. Batting average, right now you're on pace for 374. All-time best batting average is 369. You got a little bit of ways to go in the doubles, but John Williamson was way ahead of second and third, too. You'll probably finish in the top 5 there. 24 doubles, 72 by John Williamson. 4 triples, 10 is the record. I'm going to make you talk about it. But man, we're talking about a walk-on coming in, and I just named you 7 stats that he's on pace to beat the ECU record. Jesus, I don't want to keep asking you the same question, but what does that mean to you? Let's not ask that question because I already know the answer. do you shock yourself sometimes? Or do you not look at the stats at all? I know you had season goals. Let's talk about that too. Do you shock yourself with this stuff? What are some of your season goals coming in or this past season?
I set my goals really high. Like I told you before the show was on, I set my batting average goal for 450. And if anybody knows anything about Division I baseball, there may have been a couple players over 450 this year.
I looked it up today.
Maybe,
I did. It won't many.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Probably 5 or so. But that's, it's hard to attain. But I set those goals because if I do fall short, and I fell short of those goals this year, but I was still able to have a good year. I try to set my goals about as high as I possibly can. Because if you barely miss those goals, then that means I still had a really good year. But it's just, those the statistics you read off. Like I said, they don't mean much to me. I'm here to win baseball games, and that's the end goal. We set team goals, and those are the goals we push towards. Win a national championship at the end of the day, and if we win a national championships, then that means the rest of it took care of itself.
I got a couple more things, then we're going to continue on with the show because I got a lot to get to. Let's talk about this upcoming season. What do you expect out of the team? I know this is a loaded question because you don't even know who the team is yet. But you recently just got a Purdue transfer, Weston Boyle. Seems like he's really good. You know anything about him?
I obviously, I see we get a commit. I kind of just, look up a little bit about him. I saw he was a really good defender. Had a good season offensively. I don't know much about him. I gave him a follow on Instagram.
There you go.
That's about the only connection we have so far. But yeah.
But being a second baseman, this is coming from a non-baseball guy. Being a second baseman, how is it important to have a shortstop that meets your skills?
It's important to have a good middle infield. I think a good catcher, good middle infield, and a good center fielder. If you have those four, I think you can kind of hide the rest of it. And don't get me wrong, Colby Wallace is one of the best third basemen defensively in the country.
Yeah, you're not saying that, but you're saying that you can.
Yeah, I'm not saying that, but I think you can hide the rest of it if it's not as good.
Mm-hmm.
But just having, Nick Parham was really good defensively this year for us. So was Matt Lashley. But it's just, I think it's super important to have a good connection on the middle infield, because that connection, say there's, shortstop's diving up the middle. Well, if there's a runner on first, the second baseman's got to know he's got to go across the field for that play to be a cutoff man coming from center field if he doesn't get to it. So, it's just little small things like that the average viewer may not understand. That, the game has to, you got to be on the same page at a different level. There's, like I said, small room for error. So, you've got to be on the same page as, the guy next to you on every play.
Turning double plays and chemistry and everything.
10-4. All right, let's move on to our top 5. We haven't used this board since week 1. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this board. I'm going to put it right here for you. And this part of our show is sponsored by El Nuevo San Juan Mexican Restaurant. Thank you for all you do. But this is your time to shine. Top 5 pitchers you have faced.
Let me ask you this quick question. Y'all didn't play UNC Wilmington this year, did you?
We did.
Did you play against Williford Sun?
I did.
I'm glad. I wanted to ask that question earlier.
Played against them.
How did the game go?
We won that game. It was 9-8. We got up. It was 9-1.
Okay.
We ended up
some Green Central Farmville connection.
Yeah, ended up giving up 7 runs in an inning. But we were able to win that game.
Okay.
But I think I went 1 for 2 off of him. He got the best of me, won at bat, but I was able to get on to start the game off of him.
That's what's up.
Yep.
All right, here we go. We got the Braden Burress top 5 pitchers that he has ever faced, and here we are. Come on, you got to write.
Okay.
College students way better than a 40-year-old handwriting.
Hopefully the name was Joe Smith. So,
so you don't have a mic on. You say everything you say. I'm just going to repeat it. Or better yet, here we go.
We'll start with number 5. It's kind of tough because I faced a lot of college players. But I think Trey Beard, who was at FAU last year, went to Florida State this year and was kind of a big piece in what they did. He didn't throw super hard, but he had like a really high arm slot, and then his off speed was kind of really good to play off of it. I don't really exactly know how to. I think it's.
You can just put last name if you want.
Yeah, we'll do that.
First initial and last name will be good.
One of these ain't.
And put the college too. You said FAU.
One of these ain't gonna have to spell the guy's name.
I need to look it up.
Yeah.
What college and who's the nice one?
UTSA, and his name is Robert Orlowski. Got a good story about it.
All right, I got the name. All right, next up, number 4.
Number 4. I'd probably go with I'm trying to think of Jason DeCara from UNC. He's been their Friday night guy. Faced him this year. He had a lot of success against us at Clark Claire. But I was able to get 3 for 4 off of him. Struck me out with a disgusting curveball. First at bat. But yeah, he had really good stuff. I was just seeing things well that weekend, so we'll go with DeCara. I think I'm spelling it right. Maybe not. Who knows?
All right. Number 3.
Number 3. Like I've said, we faced a lot of really good arms. In my college days, I've got my 1 and my 2. Those are on lock.
Okay.
Number 3, I think it's easy to go with Liam Peterson from Florida last year. I mean, he had good stuff. He's projected to be like a top 5 rounder this year. I mean, he's a really good player. Also faced a guy from Charlotte last year. I can't even remember his name. Gillespie. He was really good, but I think we'll go with shoot, what was the first one I said?
He's Florida. The guy from Florida.
Liam Peterson.
Yeah,
that's right.
Liam Peterson from Florida. Put Florida, put UNC. Come on, man. You got to cite your sources.
I don't do that much anymore.
Just put UF, I guess.
Yeah, that's all I was gonna do.
All right, you said you got your top 2 on lock. Who's number 2?
Number 2, we'll go with Robert Orlowski from UTSA. So, funny story about him last year. He came in to close the game against us. I think it was on Friday night. It came in, struck me out. The next inning, they put him in left field. And we score a couple runs off the guy that comes in. Then they put him back in, and he strikes me out again. Put him back in, and he strikes me out again. Yeah, and he had some of the best stuff I've seen since I've been in college.
You ain't going to forget that one.
No, definitely would not. How you spell that name?
ORLOSKI. UTSA, right?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, number 1 pitcher that Braden Burress has ever faced.
I'm going with Ryan Lynch from UNC. He's a draft-eligible sophomore this year, and he's probably going to get drafted for a good reason. He had some of the best stuff that I've seen, tight slider, good changeup, and his fastball. He struck me out on a fastball this year that I think it went through my barrel. It literally moved like 3 feet, I think. But yeah, he's had one of the best fastballs up to like 98 against us, and it was one of the better heaters I've seen since I've been in college.
All right, there you have it. Here's our top 5 pitchers Braden Burress has faced. And while you're still up, I got my Sharpie. I need my Braden Burress signed. Where you put it? It's got to be a. You can put it on the arm, or you can put it right here.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I want
there because I don't know if it's gonna show on the.
Yeah, and it's blue. You the man.
There you go.
You're the man. All right, it's time to move on. We're going to talk about football for a little bit, but before we move on, I'm going to give you one last look at the top 5. All right, get it out of here. All right, guys. Well, you know we do our summer series every week on this show, and we do our top 10 players out of east of I-95. I'm going to show you the schedule. We already did the top 10 quarterbacks in the East. We've already did the top 10 running backs in the East, and now it's time for our top 10 wide receivers. And here we go. I'm going to start this week with the tiers instead of just breaking out the whole list for you. Let's begin. At number 10, I got Cameron Freeman from Rocky Mount. Number 9, Saron Thompson from Jacksonville. Number 8, Jonah Boone, Clinton. These are my tier 3 impact players. These are playmakers. Moving on. Tier 2. These are my all-state candidates. I got a lot in this tier. Carmelo Beasley from Swansboro at 7. Shamiah Cabell, sorry if I butchered that. I know my guy too, sorry about that. From J.H. Rose, just transferred from Conley. Xavier Cuthbertson, oh my God, that was terrible. Xavier Cuthbertson, Wes Craven. Dyson Duran from Hoggard. Gavin Davis from Northside Jacksonville. And number 2, Braylon Lawton from Fike. Braylon Lawton is one of my favorites. Watch out for this guy for our Tier 2 All-State candidates. And in our number 1 spot, in our Tier 1 State Player of the Year candidate, goes to Jalik Parson Jr. from J.H. Rose. He was second in receiving yards last year behind Tyreek Copper. This kid can ball. He's going to ball. He's got extra weapons. He's got his quarterback back. Watch out for Jalik Parsons. I'm going to show the whole top 10 now. This is your top 10 east of I-95 receivers. All right. Now we're moving on even more. I told you we're going to talk about the NBA Finals a little bit more. Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up about the Finals. Chaparral, what did you see? What stood out the most to you? What do you want to talk about first?
I guess what stood out to me the most is, like I said, the Spurs pretty much for finals. They were leading most every game, in every game. Should have won. They probably should have won the championship, honestly, if maybe some timeouts were called at the right times and, different things. I think a couple games they had to lead and was shooting way too many three-pointers at crunch time. But like I say, those are growing pains. You're going, New York really deserved it. And I'm kind of glad Brunson, for the smaller cats in the world like Trey, he was MVP, and he really showed you and it was such a great story how hard his father was on him as a kid, having him out playing, grinding, and getting him mentally tough. To see a success story, 'cause a lot of times you see stories like that, and the kid ends up hating the sport or ends up burning out or some other way. So the biggest thing I took from it is he left Dallas. I mean, Dallas didn't fully believe in him. He took less money to build pieces around him. And it's a fairy tale ending for him, I think, with the thing. And he hit 45 to decide the game.
I got about 10 things to say. First off, I bet on every single game. Every single game I took the Spurs. I'm sick of it. There was no doubt they were the better team. No doubt. They dominated every first quarter. And they didn't finish the games. They did not finish the game. Bonehead mistake. And it won't it was this player, that everybody was just messing up at their opportunity. Everybody had a time to mess up, and they did.
Yeah.
And to me, there was no doubt San Antonio was the better team, and it really made me mad. That's not the word I want to use.
Right. I think the big picture you could take from it, regardless of if your main guy at the end of a game is not a guy handling the ball, that's where everything was settled at. Good as Wemby is, he's not bringing the ball up the court. He's not running the show. He's not taking it down. Brunson had the ball in his hand. He's the point guard.
Got about 2 or 3 more takes on this. I'm going to start with Wemby. There's a lot of criticism on Wemby. Why is he shooting outside? Why is he doing this? Look, you can't make that man be Shaq. You can't make that. That man got to the finals doing exactly what he did in the finals. I understand you want him to change his game. I understand it might be a higher field goal percentage because he's 7'4", get him in the paint. I get it. But what he was doing in the finals is what got him to the finals. He's not going to change on game 96 out of 97 to make you happy,
Right.
not you, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Second thing, I talk about how I thought the Spurs were the better team. And by the way, I like the Knicks. I like what they got. I love Brunson. I love Hart. I love what they have. But I saw this in 2017. Carolina played against a team where I knew Carolina was the better team, and they lost to a Villanova team. You know who was on that Villanova
Right.
team? Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges,
Right.
and Josh Hart.
Right.
My point is, chemistry matters more than talent when everybody's talented.
Right.
And they definitely won off their chemistry, especially when you have how many teams has the point guard leading and scoring. That takes a special group of guys. And when you watch Josh Hart play, he don't care about scoring. He's doing basketball plays to help him win. Mikal Bridges, he's just going to take the shot when he gets the shot. They're not forcing. They're not. You can tell when
Right.
somebody gets the ball, it's like, oh crap, I'm about to go get mine.
Right.
And those guys didn't have it. And that chemistry and that brotherhood between those three guys, it's a lot easier to build around when you got three guys than when you got, hey, this is my point guard. He averages 30. You ain't going to get no shots, but he's going to average 30.
Understanding your role to the fullest.
Yes, to the fullest. So that was the biggest thing for me. I don't have nothing else on the oh yeah. And boo to the Knicks for beating up the Spurs fans. That junk is corny. Corny. You going around jumping people just because they got a Spurs jersey on. Like, grow up. Like that was terrible. It's pathetic.
Yeah, and it went both ways. But like I said, New York started because I don't feel like San Antonio fans would have done it if they wouldn't have done it to them in New York.
I didn't see the San Antonio one.
Oh, bro, that was the worst beatdown of the whole series. Hey, he whooped took his jersey off and threw it back after, and they kicked him in the head by like 6 times.
Yeah, it was probably getting
there's
payback.
there's no
I mean,
place
they were
for-
trashing businesses, throwing stuff, breaking windows. Like, it's basketball. Go.
Let me ask you this: will you feel comfortable wearing your Carolina jersey at Cameron after the
Yes,
game?
absolutely.
That's what's up.
I am. Now, do I feel comfortable wearing a Spurs jersey in New York after that? No, hell no.
Hey, that be the guy with the
No.
Atlanta Hawks jersey on.
Yeah, I'm taking my junk off.
Hey, tuck your chain, tuck your jersey.
like go Jalen.
Right.
All right, let's move on. Moving on. We always got our WNBA segment. Before I move on, do you got anything to say? You didn't really watch it that much, right?
Nah, I mean, I just see where we're like tearing that bus apart in New York City. I'm
Right, what's going on? Like,
yeah, you want a championship, but I ain't never seen that happen.
Nah,
We
me
didn't tear
either,
them
like-
buses apart
And my whole
on
life
Snow Hill.
either. I'm telling you,
Right.
the scary, like, I'm telling you, the worst fans, like the Eagles fans, Raiders fans, Steelers, old school Browns, Dog Pound. But hey, what the Knicks fans did, bro, that taught like the history of
Knicks,
screwed
man.
up mess, yeah.
All right, moving on. Going to the WNBA. This is my favorite segment right here. Braden, I've become a huge WNBA fan. It is what it is. And we got our top 10 WNBA players. I'm going to throw my top 10. Chappelle's going to throw his top 10. Then we can compare. We ain't going too much into it. But here is my top 10. At number 1, I got Asia Wilson. Number 2, Kelsey Plum. Number 3, Caitlin Clark. Brianna Stewart. Rookie, Olivia Miles, Paige Beckers, Aaliyah Boston. This is my underrated player. She doesn't get the love she deserves. And the last 3 is 3 Atlanta Dream players: Alicia Gray, Ryan Howard, Angel Reese. Now,
Your last 3 all play with the Dream.
yeah, before, you got anything to say about my top 10?
Yeah, only thing I say about your top 10 is if you're gonna have 3 from the same team, they need to be the best team in the WNBA. And that's any sport. If you got 3 all-stars or 3 top people, they need to be the best team or it's bogus. That's it. How do you feel about that?
Man, you fool. Look, hey. Oh, my batteries work. My batteries work. This is my BS meter. It is BS meter. Man, that's 3 players on the USA team right there. You ain't gonna discredit them girls. Let me see your top 10. Here we go.
Call it out.
Here we go. Chappelle Pitts, top 10. Asia Wilson, Kelsey Plum. Did you copy mine?
Not at all, bro.
Kalia Cooper, Nafisia Collier, Paige Beckers, Alyssa Thomas, Brianna Stewart, Brittany Sykes, Sabrina Anas. How you say it? Anescu. You got Sykes over Angel Reese?
Yes, I do. The reason I have her over her is because if you think of it, WNBA is a forward league. It's all forwards. You don't really have that many guards in there. She's a leading player for her team. Sometimes you got to look beyond what you call. Of course, you're going to come out and say all she does is score. We can say all Reese does is rebound.
We got to stop talking before. We got to start talking before.
I've never heard it before. But yeah, so.
All right, Olivia Miles. There's no way you ain't got Olivia
I
Miles.
told you, if Olivia Miles, I love her game. I love it. And like I said, they're star for guards. And she's the next big thing. And she probably going to eclipse Caitlin Clark with her total game before the season ends. I'm sure you don't want to hear that. But yeah, she's a straight dog. But you got to be consistent for me, like when you putting that work in to get your accolades. But she's awesome. I love her game. So she's going to be one of the top guards and players in the WNBA. And probably before the season gets over.
One last time, let's compare the two. And here's the two up. You tell us in the comments how bad Chaparral Pitt's top 10 is and how good my top 10 is. Here it is. And drop it in the comments. Woo, Nat's been following me all the way around. I couldn't get rid of it. I finally ate it. That was terrible. That was terrible. Good God.
Disgusting.
All right, as I promised you, our mailbox this week is different. Is a lot different. I told you to ask questions that you wanted to ask Braden Burress on the show, and I got it right here on my Facebook. About to pull it up now, and we're about to go into the mailbox brought to you by Success Mortgage Partners, Kristen Goyette. Thank you for being our segment sponsor. You ready, Braden? It's a lot.
I'm ready.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Now, I'm going to start with my favorite one, and you're not allowed to answer this one. One second. That protein tastes different. Oh, my God. Where is it? Okay, here we go. First question that's not going to get answered. What kind of dog food does he eat? That's so corny. I love it. I love it. He's a dog. He's a dog. I'm with it. I'm starting at the bottom. Where are you from? Greene County. I'm answering that one for you. Why the number 26?
So I kind of grew up playing travel ball. I wore number 8. Daddy and Mama both wore number 8 in college. Hannah wore number 8 in high school, and then when she got to college, number 8 was taken, and she wore number 26. So it's like, I mean, number 8 was taken. I probably would have went to number 16 next in college. 16 was taken, Parker Bird. So yeah,
you made it work.
26 was kind of like the next best thing.
Will you be keeping 26 all the way through?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Favorite pregame ritual? Pregame meal, pregame music, any of those?
I eat a lot of Bojangles. I mean, I guess that's like my thing. That's what all the guys joke.
Spit out the Bojangle orders right now. Come on.
Which one do you want?
The go-to.
Well, if you want to go breakfast, we'll go bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit with French fries and a large sweet tea. Before I got here, I actually went and got a 4-piece Supreme with French fries and a large sweet tea. Hot take, I prefer barbecue sauce over the honey mustard. Always been a barbecue sauce guy. I like barbecue chicken.
I transitioned when I got older.
Maybe
that's a bad word.
Maybe I'll be the same. I doubt it, but maybe I'll be the same.
All right. Yeah. Any music? Any ritual?
Really, I don't really listen to music much. I kind of only when I get in the car. But I pray before every game because I mean I wouldn't be where I am without Jesus Christ.
We talked about the jungle a little bit. How much of advantage do they give you guys, the fans?
Like I said earlier, I watch teams crumble underneath the pressure of our fans, and I think it's plays a valuable role in some of our success whenever there's 7,000 people in the stands.
Favorite MLB team?
New York Yankees.
Oh, yes.
I'm going to see the Yankees.
My man.
I'm going July 19th to see them play Dodgers. Yep. Toughest pitcher you faced in college? Bow, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Which away crowd has been the best?
I'd say either the Coastal Carolina last year, when with 6,000 people there, or UNC this year. I mean, both. I think both of them are pretty cool.
All right, this one's kind of long, so be ready. I'm gonna phrase it up a little bit. This is coming from a former D1 athlete. It's more than working 60 hours a week from morning workouts, academics, weights, practice, and study hall. What is it like these days for a current D1 athlete, and how does he deal with the full schedule day to day and be able to perform at an elite level and still be able to maintain and compete at this level while dealing with all the distractions that become being a known elite athlete?
It's just super important to find what works best for you each day. You've gotta find a consistent routine, because if you don't have a plan for each day, I think it's kind of tough to just free ball it. Where we are now. So it varies because the class schedules are different for each day. I think it's a little bit easier now that we have kind of half of our classes in person and half of our classes online. But we'll take our in-person classes in the morning and then eat lunch and then go to the field. And then we're there until it's dinner time, dinner, homework, go to sleep.
Clockwork. Do it again.
Do it again the next day.
Love it. What's your batting average versus your sisters?
I don't know. I was more of I would catch Hannah
Okay.
more than I would ever hit off of her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who was the toughest high school pitcher you faced
Oh,
in a Green Central uniform?
that's a good question. I think probably my senior year, Trey was really good. He had college level stuff when he was a junior. He made a big stride from his sophomore to his junior year, and then made another stride from junior to senior. But he was really good. And then obviously those guys from Burns, they had some really good pitchers over there.
What has been your best win or best moment in a Pirate uniform?
I'd say my best moment was probably the go-ahead home run I hit against South Florida in the conference tournament last year, but best win was probably Tennessee in that 14-inning thriller. That was awesome.
Where are you playing summer ball, and what teams? We already all right. So the question is, where are you playing summer ball, and what teams are trying to pull you from ECU? You said you haven't heard from nobody, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where are you playing summer ball?
I'll be heading up to the Cape Cod League, playing for the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox.
All right. What was the biggest adjustment you made hitting college pitching versus high school? Did you have to change your approach at all?
Not really change my approach. It's just as it gets faster, you just get early sooner. That's all it is, and just getting bigger and stronger. So I can handle the bat at this level.
How many times have you been approached by larger schools asking for the inner portal? None. Why hasn't he been into? I haven't look. Some of these questions I haven't read yet. So if I say something out loud, it's crazy. Forgive me. Why hasn't he been into Coach Cliff's office to tell him he's already has a short? The question is, why haven't you been in Coach Cliff's office to tell him that you're the shortstop?
I just want to win, and what he sees may be different from what everyone else sees, and but he's gonna put me wherever he thinks is best for the team to win. Sometimes me playing outfield is just to get another bat in the lineup, and that might be at second base. But I think we'll see a lot of me moving around again this year.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously I don't exactly know who we have coming in, but I know a lot of the guys coming back are really talented baseball players, and that could cause for me to play a little bit of outfield this year. Who else? Somewhere on the infield, that you haven't seen me before.
Chance asked a question, but we've done answer both of those. Just like make sure Chance knows that I've seen it. Last one before we end the show. Tell me, what are your goals? What are your professional goals? Also, what are your educational goals? Start with professional. Let's go to educational.
So I'll be taking 2 classes this summer, so I can hopefully graduate next year. And hopefully you graduate next year, get drafted. I ain't got to come back to school to finish and get a degree. So obviously professional goals. I want to play professional baseball for a long time, kind of as long as the good Lord wants me to play. But at the end of the day, it's all in His plan. Whatever He has for me, I'm just grateful for it.
And one day when you retire, you're gonna have to fall back on your college degree. What's that gonna be?
Right now, I'm managing in sports management, majoring in sports management. I think I just want to stay in sports as long as I can. I've grown up playing sports, and who knows, maybe one day it's coaching. High school, college, professional. Who knows where life takes me.
There, you got a lot more fans than just in Greene County and Lenoir County. What do you got to say to your Pirate fans? You got some people that really root for you hard, man. What do you got to say about Pirate Nation for the upcoming season next year?
I mean, yeah, I think there's a lot to be excited for next year. Next year we're gonna stay healthy, and we're gonna have a lot of talent. You know, it's a whole lot easier to play with, you know, all the fans behind us, and every single one of us just greatly appreciate all the support that y'all have brought us.
You good?
Yeah, I got one more question. How do you decide, or does somebody decide for you where you play it in summer ball?
It's kind of like a combination of summer ball coaches reaching out,
Okay.
and also where our coach would like to place us.
Right.
Kind of depending on, you know, the level of each league, because there's like many different summer ball leagues, and it just kind of depends on.
And when you get there, do you already have a predestined position that you'll be playing this summer, or whatever they need there?
Kind of just whatever they need there. Kind of
Okay.
pretty much the same role. I mean, I just want to go up there, and the Cape's one of the better
Well, yeah,
collegiate
definitely, for
leagues. So
years.
yeah, I just want to go up there and, you know, compete with those guys. And
some
yeah,
work.
it's gonna be a lot of fun.
That's what's
Didn't
up.
get to play summer ball last year, so it'll be fun to, you know, get up there and have a little bit of fun this year.
Most definitely. Best of luck to you, brother.
Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
same here, big dog. You know, we're always pulling for you. Anything I got to do for you, I'm right here, one phone call away. Keep killing it. We're proud of you, and a lot of people are proud of you that you don't even know. Man, I'm a fan. He called me a fanboy earlier. That's okay. I am. Look, hey, the limited edition Braden Burress shirt. Hey, look. Y'all didn't even know I had his autograph up here. Did you know that? Did you figure that?
I didn't see that.
Oh, and if
balls you signed.
Bojangles want to reach out for some NIL money,
Hey, Bojangles.
hey, he done
Bojangles.
plugged y'all, Bojangles. Get that man some money.
For real. Like,
Hey.
he didn't call it. The only business he called out was
Exactly,
Bojangles.
Bojangles. Holla at him.
So, big shout out to Tiebreakers, our title sponsors. Thank you for all you do. Caroline Medical Transport, big in what we do, as well as Bojangles. Shout out to our segment sponsors. Also, big shout out to Stephen Jones. He makes sure this show is sponsored through multiple companies. Thank you, Stephen, for all you do. That's all I got. Y'all good?
I just thank you for having me up here. It's an honor to be here.
No problem, man. Make sure I get those credentials at the MLB draft. All right.
All right, I got you.
Let's do it. I'm Trey Scott. I got the guys with me. This is episode 4. It's a wrap.